We are back with the In Between the Lines podcast. I'm Jake, back with my buddy Jeff. What's going on, brother?
What's happening? What's happening with you?
Man, I'm not gonna lie. I like that fit you got going on right there. That's pretty sharp.
Every year I get the veterans sweatshirt.
I see that. It says salute to service on it. That's cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Is it white?
Yeah, it's the white camel.
Okay, yeah, that's nice. I like that a lot.
Hey, it was a birthday gift.
All right. Did you get to watch the Bears play this weekend?
Yep, I watched them.
Yeah. I didn't see them. I just saw the score.
Yeah, it seems like that Caleb is regressing. And that seems like that's the same story with all of the quarterbacks that we draft. I don't understand how we keep dropping the ball on hiring a good coach.
Yeah.
Offensive coach. They get these defensive coaches. They play lights out on defense, and I don't get it, man. I'm frustrated. I hate using the coach as a scapegoat all the time, but what else are we gonna do? I mean, we got arguably the best wide receiver trio in the league. I mean, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, the rookie Adunze. We got Komet at the tight end. We got running backs. We got everything, and we can't put up a touchdown.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Even if we lose, we should score 2 touchdowns on accident.
Yeah, I think there's some locker room issues going on right now in there too. I know we talked earlier in the year. I told you we talked about that DJ Moore situation where it looked like he was frustrated with Caleb Williams, but I don't know if you saw the play because it kind of went viral on some of the social media sites where Caleb was rolling out to his side and then he got into trouble. And then so he started to spin and ran the other way. And DJ Moore just continued to run out of bounds and then went and sat down on the bench during the play.
Yeah, they said he's very frustrated with the play calling as well.
Yeah. And then the whole I saw earlier in the week what's the defensive back's name that really screwed up last week against? So I'd heard once he found out that he wasn't starting this week, that he left practice during the week too, which I heard wasn't a very popular decision either. So there's some locker room issues going on.
I think the coach has lost the locker room.
Yeah. There's a lot of rumblings going around that they want to get the Lions offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson.
Yeah, I was hearing that today, and Adam Schefter, he reported that Ben Johnson is going to be very selective in where he goes.
Yeah.
So,
because he had one foot out the door last year, and then kind of surprised everybody and came back. But I gotta think if they win the Super Bowl this year, which I mean it's a possibility for sure, which is something I never thought I'd ever say, but I mean, they look damn good. So I got to think if they were to actually win it this year, that he would be gone.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I don't see him staying if that happens.
Yeah, because I think that's the only reason he stayed, really, is because I think he thought that they had a shot to do it. And I think he wanted to give it one more go.
Well, I got to say that Chicago has to be an attractive job with the talent that's there. And I thought I would never say that. But on the offensive side of the ball, I could see a good offensive coordinator. Man, I wish I could get my hands on that offense.
Yeah, and like I said, as much as I've hated on Caleb Williams, and like I said, it's not legitimate hate. I think he's overrated, and I thought that they really pushed him up more than they should have. But I mean, there's no question that he's talented. So yeah, I got to imagine if I'm Ben Johnson and I'm looking just like you said, they got young quarterback on a rookie deal that's got talent, three legit wide receivers. DeAndre Swift is actually starting to play like a decent running back again. I mean, Cole Kmet, like you said, yeah, that would be an attractive job as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. But yeah, it was sad to watch. I was just like, the highlight of my weekend was Michigan beating Michigan State.
Oh, that was 2 weekends ago.
Was it?
Yeah. Michigan played Oregon this week.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I just want to go
I'm trying to find some excitement.
How do you say Oregon? Oregon. Gun. Okay. So, I put out these reaction review videos every week for Lions games, Michigan games, and I did one on the Michigan-Oregon game. And it's been one of my most popular videos. But all the comments are dogging me on how I say Oregon.
How do you say it?
Well, I feel like I'm saying it right, but they're all saying, and I guess when I let Amy listen to it too, I'm saying Oregon, like G, like Gon, like
Yeah.
and they're saying it's Oregon instead of Gon, and I was like,
Yeah.
God, I've never heard anybody like correct me on it. I've been saying it forever. I feel like I'm saying it right. But I got so many hate comments. I can't believe you don't know how to say Oregon.
No, I don't think that's the case. Some people say New Orleans.
Yeah.
I say New Orleans.
And that was what some of the comments too. They're like, "Do you say Illinois?" I was like, I can't believe everybody's commenting on how I'm saying Oregon.
No, Illinois is wrong. If you pronounce the S, you completely wrong.
Right,
but if you say Oregon, I've heard it pronounced both ways.
Yeah, well, I got a lot of hate for saying Oregon. It was funny. I mean, whatever. Hate all you want if you're giving me thousands of views. But it was funny. What did you think about that game though?
Michigan just seemed like they lost.
Yeah.
They don't. I don't know what's going on with. Like I said before, Harbaugh kind of left them high and dry when he left. I mean, he took a lot with him, and you're seeing it. You're seeing it on the field. And Oregon is just. I mean, they just good, man. I mean, they might be the best team in the country.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can't.
Well, see,
it wasn't that I wasn't as. It didn't look as bad as the score did to me, though. I mean, I thought Michigan held their own in the game. Honestly, I don't think they looked.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to get at too. The score was definitely worse than what the game was. I mean, we did kind of start off a little shaky in the first half, but we came back and in the fourth quarter we drove it down inside the 10. That if we would have scored that touchdown, it was a one possession game. We got stopped on fourth down, and then they came down and scored another touchdown. So it was a 14-point swing. But I mean, I thought Davis Warren looked good. I mean, I'm to that point. I think I said it last week where I kind of wish that he would have just played all year, because he's definitely looking better. But like you just said, I mean, Oregon is maybe the best team in the country. And when you really look at it, we've lost to Oregon, we've lost to Texas. We've lost to Illinois, and Washington. Washington was probably the worst loss out of that, but going to Washington's not an easy game. So I mean, It's tough. We've got one of the toughest schedules. Like I said, the two of the three remaining games we have are against top 10 teams still, Indiana and Ohio State. So
I'm gonna go on record and say Michigan had the toughest schedule in the country this year.
there's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. But on a bright note, I don't know if you've been following some of the rumors that are going around. I mean, we've kind of been hot on the recruiting trail. We've got a couple of big flips. But have you been hearing all this Bryce Underwood talk lately?
I haven't. What's the latest on that?
So, I mean, I told you about him earlier in the year. He's the number one recruit in the whole country. Right. And he's been the number one recruit since he was a freshman. He's absolutely legit. I've reffed him a couple times. They've won 2 of the last 3 state titles. He is so good. But he committed to LSU. It was between LSU and Michigan. Right. And when he committed to LSU, it was when Harbaugh was still there, and basically there was no NIL package whatsoever. Right. And now that Sharon Moore is there, he's kind of developed an NIL package. I'm hearing that they've offered him somewhere in between a $5 million NIL package. And,
Michigan did?
Michigan. That's what all the rumors are. And so what's interesting is, so this past weekend for the Oregon game, or maybe it was the Michigan State game, there was 2 recruits there at the game. One of them was a kid named Dotson, and Dotson is a teammate of Bryce Underwood at Belleville right now, and he's committed to Pittsburgh. And the word is that he is flipping to Michigan, and apparently him and Bryce Underwood are like childhood friends. The other recruit that was with Dotson at the Michigan game was a 5-star wide receiver that is also committed to LSU. So there's a lot of talk going on right now that all 3 of them are coming to Michigan.
But that means that they will possibly want to start next season.
Well, possibly. Okay. I mean, that's
what about the kid now that was promised the red shirt?
Yep. I get it. I don't know. I don't know what that says for him. I mean, to me, it's either going to be, I mean, I don't know if he wins out or whatever, or we're going to get a situation where if he signs, that is he going to hit the transfer portal? The 2025 recruit quarterback that we did have just decommitted amongst all this Bryce Underwood talk too.
Oh man,
here's the other rumor that's swirling around. So my understanding is that Bryce Underwood is a big fan, or a big fan of the offensive coordinator that Michigan has right now. But he's also a huge fan of LSU's offensive coordinator. But here's where some of the interesting part gets, is that guy apparently is in line to get the head coaching job at East Carolina. Apparently they've been talking to him. He's a graduate of East Carolina.
LSU's coordinator.
Yes. Okay. And so that's going around right now too, that, yes, Bryce Underwood, that's like his big draw there, is he likes that coordinator because he worked with Joe Burrow, he worked with Jaden Daniels, and he likes him. But if he leaves, that kind of opens the door for Michigan too. So we'll see. I mean, that's a huge deal. Okay. And I'm telling you, Bryce Underwood is legit. Legit.
Yeah, I've seen some people commenting on one of the clips that we posted when I was asking about why can't Michigan get a 5-star quarterback, and the Bryce Underwood comments were they really like that kid. So hopefully he does come. That's putting a smile on my face. I hope it happens.
Well, I'll tell you what. So 2 years ago, I think it was. So yeah, he was a sophomore. I had heard all the hype about him. And so we went and we had one of their games. And so, when I ref games where you're there 45 minutes earlier, you're watching them warm up, and I'm watching them throw the ball, and it's like, oh yeah, he throws a good ball, not a big deal, nothing, whatever. Well, then the game started, and I want to say it was the first drive where they're going down, they're moving the ball, he's throwing some short passes here and there, but then there was a play, I think they were at the 30-yard line, opposite hash. He throws a rope to the corner on a straight line, opposite hash, and this guy didn't even have to move his hands for a back shoulder throw. And I just remember looking, and I kind of looked at my other refs, and it was like, we got on our radios, and we're like, well, that's a college throw. We we don't see that every week. And he just continued to do it throughout the whole game. It was amazing.
Wow.
So I'm excited. If they get him, I'll be ecstatic.
And when is so the commitment to LSU, was that like just a verbal commitment, or
Yeah, it's a verbal commitment. The signing period isn't until like December or January when you can officially sign. But yeah, it's just a verbal commit. I've heard LSU's terrified right now.
So the only thing that's really, well, you say he's a fan of Michigan's old coordinator.
He likes Kurt Campbell.
Okay.
He likes Sharon Moore.
And he likes the NIL.
Well, yeah, like I said, because that was my understanding before, is when he went to LSU, was LSU was going to pay him a lot of money. They had a way better NIL program, and Michigan's NIL was basically non-existent. I remember when it happened, I had everybody, some of the guys that are talking to, they're like, he really, really likes Michigan, but he just can't turn down what LSU's offering him. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. I know that.
Me too.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be on the lookout for that. I'm hoping that they let this other kid play that was promised the red shirt the last 4 games of the season.
I would love to see that. I want to see what he's got. Because I'm also worried. I mean, like I said, you can't have too many good quarterbacks, but like I said, you got to also worry that if Bryce Underwood comes, is he going to leave immediately? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, so yeah, it's going to be a lot of news. That's something, man. We only halfway through this season and already excited about next season.
Well, we have to be excited about next season because there's nothing to be excited about right now. Nothing to be excited about right now.
Yeah, Michigan has Indiana coming up this weekend.
Indiana's tough, man, and it's at Indiana too.
Yeah, they blowing through teams, man. I mean, they going right through them.
Yeah. Yep, I'm not excited about it. Not excited about it. So yeah, let's
yeah, I got to look at the point spread on that and see what's happening.
I want to say, last I had heard, I thought Indiana was favored by like 14.5. Let me see. I'll look it up right now. It's Indiana is 14.5.
You know, I know this was probably about a month ago now, but someone else came up to me just the other day and said, it was Sunday actually, when I went to I don't know if you've seen, but I posted I was at the Falcons and Cowboys game this past weekend.
I did see that, yeah. I didn't know you were going.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of a spare of a moment thing. It wasn't really planned, and someone asked me to go. But I was at the tailgate, and someone came up to me and said, "Man, you never heard of a pig roast?"
Really? That's fantastic. I love that.
I swear to God, man, it was hilarious, bro. I was like, man, what are you talking about? He said, man, I seen it on Facebook, and I'm like, man, I didn't even. That's, I think that's the third person since we started this. I mean, of course, it's people that I know, but I didn't just put it out there like, hey, I'm starting this podcast with a
Right.
buddy of mine, or and they coming up to me like, man, you started a podcast, man, that's good. I was like, well, yeah, I said it's been in the works for a minute. I said it was my boy Jake's idea. We kind of came together and trying to make something great. But
Right.
but yeah, he said, man, you never been to a pig roast. I'm like, dude, I've heard of the luau thing. Just
Well,
I don't think I said that then. I have heard of the luau. Okay, they put
yeah, they
the
roast pigs
pig
there,
in the
don't they? Yeah.
ground. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think they leave it underground for like 2 days or something. I don't 3 days, something crazy like that. But here, I have never heard nobody say, "Hey, listen, man, I'm going to a pig roast this weekend."
Yep.
I just ain't never heard it.
So I've been to several actually. I mean the one that I was talking about when I introduced it to you, they do that every year in October. They own a farm, so I'm pretty sure it's one of their own pigs, as a matter of fact. And every year they set it up. Everybody brings a passing dish. There's probably like 50 people there. It's all outside in their barn, and they got horses and goats, and it's good time. The food's fantastic. I love a good pig. I love how funny you think it is. That's what's funny to me.
Oh, man, it's hilarious to me. I think it's just your delivery, bro. I don't. It's, it's just, I think it's hilarious how excited you get about it. That's funny.
Man, I wish I was going to a pig roast this weekend.
Oh my God, man.
I
Just,
tell
I
you
mean,
what,
it's,
I'm going to take you to a pig roast, and after that, you're going to be a big fan too.
and I hope they got some turkey sausages or something there, or some burgers or something, man.
Well, you don't like
I ain't just about to pull up, man, and just put some pig on my plate. What part of the pig are you putting on the plate?
Well, I don't know. I mean, the ones that I'm talking about right now, it's you don't actually see the pig. It's all it's just meat and pan, so it looks like pulled pork. Now
Oh, okay.
I have been to one where they literally lay the pig on the table.
Yeah, with the apple and stuff in the mouth.
Yeah, and you just pull it out there. Now, if you want to see a funny reaction to that, when Amy saw that, she about died.
Yeah, yeah.
About died.
No, thank you.
You know, actually, the first. Do you remember a guy we used to work with named Guthrie?
Oh man, that was my guy there. Yeah.
Guthrie was the first one that I went to that had one like that. He had it for
Wow.
like it was. I want to say it was maybe one of his kids' graduation parties, and they had a pig roast, and he
You
had the
know,
pig right out
yeah,
there.
Guthrie would absolutely kill me if he heard me saying this right now. The whole pig roast deal. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. God, I haven't seen Guthrie in a while. He was a funny dude.
Yeah, he probably somewhere still working on that damn hot rod he had.
I saw him a couple years ago when I was roughing a basketball game. I was roughing Michigan Center and Leslie up at Leslie, and he was there watching, and we just kind of nodded at each other in the crowd, but because he lived out in Leslie at the time, so I don't know who he was
Yeah.
there watching, but that was the last time I saw him was a couple years ago.
Yeah, I think he still lives there if I'm not mistaken.
Probably,
Who
probably.
knows?
He's a good dude, man. I liked him a lot. He was funny.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Now, I meant to tell you 2 weeks ago. So I don't know if you knew, but I just got I'm now like the head varsity basketball coach for the girls program out here where I live.
Oh, straight up?
Yeah, yeah. I meant to tell you that a
Ah.
couple weeks ago.
Oh, congratulations, man. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. I'm excited. Excited. So yeah, we
Coach,
actually start up. We start up in less than 2 weeks now. Is our first tryout. But yeah, I'm
okay.
stoked about it.
So you said it's the girls.
Girls varsity. Yep.
Ha- have you ever coached the boys?
I've never coached boys varsity. I've coached boys freshmen. I was the head coach for the last couple of years, and I was assistant JV and assistant varsity coach. And then I've coached my boys' youth and middle school teams for the last 7, 8 years. But yeah, this is the
Can
first
you
varsity.
can you tell me what's the difference between coaching girls and boys?
So a little, I have a little bit of an idea what the difference is. Just we haven't started yet. So like
Okay.
I said, I've had some open gyms where some of the girls have shown up, but the biggest difference that I've noticed, one is, so boys tend to be a lot more aggressive, um, and they
Okay.
tend to be a lot more confident in themselves. Like I
Right.
said, the biggest thing I've noticed is a bunch of the boys that I've coached. If you talk to them, they're the best players in the world and are fantastic and would whoop anybody.
Right.
And they're not really that.
Right.
Whereas these girls think they're horrible, and some of these girls are fantastic. So
Wow.
it's a confidence thing. They're not as confident in themselves as the boys are as confident in themselves. But I mean, I've refed both boys and girls for the last couple of years. The girls are more fundamentally sound than the boys, from what I've noticed. The boys tend to rely more on
That
athleticism.
talent. Yeah.
Yeah, athleticism, speed, um, size, things like that. Whereas the girls don't rely on that as much. So you get better pure basketball where they're actually running real plays and doing fundamental things like boxing out better or setting pick and rolls better and defensive stances, things like that. It's a more fundamentally sound game, but it's not as athletic as a game.
So that would you say that they are more coachable, the
I
girls?
I think so. I mean, I've been pretty lucky with the boys that I've had because it's a group that I've known because it's been Quentin and Drew's groups. So, I mean, a lot of those boys I've known since they were knee high,
Oh,
but
okay.
so they've been easy for me to coach, and it's been like the same group since they were in third grade. But this girls team, I know a lot of them too. I mean, I've known a lot of them because they're this, most of them are the same age as Quentin is. Quentin's a sophomore, and this team is going to be composed mostly of juniors and sophomores and a couple freshmen. I think there's only maybe two or three seniors that I think are going to come out. So I know a lot of the girls, and it's a good group. I'm excited about them. They're going to be solid.
Okay. Cool, man. How many games is it for the
So
season?
the regular season is 22 games, I believe, and then you go into districts. Everybody makes districts. So depending on if you get a bye or not, if you win districts, that could be two, maybe 3 games, and then it's regionals. But once you get into districts, it's losing, you're out. It's playoffs. It's single elimination. So, but
Okay.
at least 23, because you'll get at least one district game for sure. And
And what
then
city is it? What city
Columbia
you're
Central, so
coaching?
out here in Brooklyn.
Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna try to get up there for a game
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
and maybe we can get one of the girls on here for an interview.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. They
Yeah.
probably love it. It's funny. Quentin, my son, he's been talking about it. He said, "My friends think it's so cool that you got that you've got a podcast, and they think you should start interviewing people." And I said, "Yeah, I mean that's the plan. We do plan on interviewing people
Hmm.
eventually, but we're new. I think this is episode 10, so
Right. Right.
but
Well,
yeah."
that's what a podcast is, though. It's interviewing.
Mhm.
Um, of course, we're a small channel, so why not start out with the high school kids, and get them to interview, get them used to being in front of a camera,
Yeah.
work on our interviewing skills, come up with questions and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, I
Right.
think that'll be fun.
Yeah. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you been speaking of basketball, have you been watching any basketball lately?
Yeah, I was watching who was playing last night? The Sixers and
The Clippers?
the Clippers. Yep, yep. I watched
Yeah.
that. Most of it, I should say. I missed the ending of it. It was kind of late when it went off. I told you I was working. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, I've been trying to catch what I can catch. I really get deep into basketball, like right around Christmas.
Yeah.
They have that. That's when they have like the big games. The first big televised games is the Christmas Day. They always advertise that, and that's when I really get into it. And college, when
Yeah.
college jump off, I get really excited about college hoops too. So
I tell you what, I was watching the Michigan basketball team. They're going to be fun to watch this year. It's a completely different team than they've had the last couple of years, and I love what Dusty May is doing. And like I said, I think they're going to be fun to watch.
and
They're
I
going to be
was
fun to.
so disappointed with. I really thought Jawan Howard was going to be there, you know, long term, and because he started out so good. That
Yeah,
what was that? The first couple of seasons, and I think the that early in season tournament that they do. He won that right away, and I was just like, man, I think this is gonna be that deal. And, it was just exciting. It was a good time to be excited about Michigan sports, football and basketball, because of him and Harbaugh.
yep.
And I don't know what happened after year
Well,
two.
I think that I was the same way. I was very excited about them. I mean, one of my favorite teams of all time was the Fab Five. I mean, Chris
Oh
Webber, Juwan
yeah, for
Howard,
sure.
Jimmy King, Ray Jackson. So I mean, I loved Juwan Howard. So when they got him, I was excited about him. And after watching him for a couple of years, especially that last year, he seemed really uninterested to me. Um, and I guess I don't know that he was actually a good head coach. I think that early success, I think he was actually riding the players that he'd already had. The players that
Yeah,
he actually brought in, he really didn't do
yeah,
much. And that last year when he had his son playing, I mean, how do you have three guys on your team that get drafted into the NBA and you not even make the NCAA tournament? I mean, to
yeah.
me, they seem like it was an AAU team that just they're all interested in themselves. It wasn't team
Hmm.
basketball like we had with Beeline. I loved Beeline.
Yeah.
And and this Dusty May is kind of like Beeline is the one that kind of helped get him there, and like him and
Okay.
Beeline have a pretty close relationship. So I'm hoping he's more of that mold. But so far, I've been happy because Beeline used to take 2-star, 3-star recruits and turn them into NBA players,
Right.
whereas Juwan Howard's taking 4 and 5 stars and regressing them. I mean, it was disappointing how that ended. I would like I said because
Yeah.
I wanted to love him.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I did. That's a Chicago boy.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah, I forgot he was from Chicago, wasn't he?
yeah, yep. And
Yeah.
I mean, then he started arguing with other coaches and stuff on the sideline, and one of them got pretty physical. Didn't he shove somebody or hit somebody or something?
Yeah, yeah. I think it was maybe the Purdue coach. I mean, there was some talks right then that he was going to get fired, and it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. I mean, you're supposed to be a leader of men, and then you're out there doing that kind of stuff. I mean, you can't do that. That's just
No,
embarrassing to the whole program.
no. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Um, but yeah, I'll be sure to tune in to Michigan Like I said, just college sports, hoops, period. So I'm excited about that, man. I'm excited about these upcoming games we got this weekend as well. Um, we got some picks to make.
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Starting with a game that starts here in about a half hour. Cincinnati and Baltimore.
Ooh,
But before we get into that, I mean, are we going to talk about what our records are, right?
I did bad again last week, didn't I?
Well, you didn't do bad, but you didn't do good. You went 4-3. I went 6-1 though.
Jeez. I'm gonna
So
stop trying to pick that upset pick. I'm gonna stop
yeah.
trying that.
So currently we're set at I'm 31-11 on the season. You are 24-28.
24 and 28, like below 500. Nah, man, that ain't right. That
It
can't be
is.
right.
It is. It's all recorded. You know, we do these recordings.
Oh man. All
And didn't we
right.
bet? Didn't we bet like $1,000 or something like that?
Now you lying.
I might have made that part up. Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. I'm I'm going Ravens tonight.
Um. hmm. You know what? I'm going to go Cincinnati.
Okay. Patriots, Bears. I'm going Bears. If the Bears lose this game, the coach has really lost the locker room. There ain't no question about it.
You know, I was telling you. I think I said it maybe 2 weeks ago when you were still pretty hyped up on them, and I had said that they hadn't won a game against anybody that had more than one win at the time that they played them.
Yeah.
But so I think New England has 2 wins right now. But I am going to pick Chicago in this one.
Okay.
It's at home too.
Now, yeah. We are undefeated at home. I think we've won our last 10 games or something like that at home. So
Yeah.
they should win this game. Now the next one, I normally don't go over like the bad games, but I gotta pick this one. The Giants and the Panthers. They
Jeez.
both 2-7.
Who you going with? I think I'm going to go.
Um,
Is it in London too, or it's overseas, isn't it?
it's in Germany.
Germany. Okay.
Uh, this is a pick 'em right here.
Yeah.
And I don't know who to go with, man. But I'm gonna go Giants.
I'm going to go Carolina. Um, Giants are favored by 6.5,
Oh
which
wow.
seems amazing to me because Giants are trash. How could they be favored by that much over anybody?
Well, I mean, the Panthers ain't too much better.
I know, but like I said, so you would think there would be a closer spread.
Like one,
Yeah, like one or
one,
three
three.
or pick them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that should be a pick 'em. But all right, Steelers, Commanders.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yes, it is.
I'm gonna go Washington.
I'm going Steelers.
That's gonna be a good game. That's a watcher for sure.
Um, let me see. 49ers and Buccaneers.
Wow. That's a tough one. Is have you heard it? Is Christian McCaffrey gonna play?
That's the talk. I don't think they've um, put him, labeled him as playing yet, but that's the talk.
And Tampa Bay's got some injuries too, but I mean Tampa Bay played the Chiefs pretty close this week.
Yeah, I'm going Bucks on that one.
You're going Bucks. It's in Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go San Francisco.
Okay. Eagles, Cowboys.
I'm going Eagles. Didn't Dak
All day
Prescott like
long.
rip his hamstring off or something like that?
Yeah. Hey, listen, real quick. That tailgate was probably the best tailgate I've ever been to.
Yeah.
The Cowboy fans are absolutely hilarious and delusional.
They're
I
very
mean,
delusional.
they
Yeah.
was getting they butt spanked, man, at halftime, and he was like, "Just wait and see the ending score. Just wait." And I'm like, "Are you serious?" I said, "Man, y'all the guys that Stephen A. Smith be talking about." Oh
Yeah.
no, nah, man, he don't know what he's. I'm like, oh my god, yeah. The outfits that they were were very interesting. Some of them look like costumes, like Halloween costumes. Looked like they was about to go trick or treating. But some of
Yeah.
them was pretty cool. But the way they travel, the way they have, dude, they have faith in the Cowboys like I got faith in Jesus. I'm dead serious, man.
Oh man, that's sad. That's a sad
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, man.
Do you actually know any Cowboys fans though?
I do. Yeah. I
See,
know a few of them. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I don't know anybody that's like a real true Cowboys fan.
Well, I got family in Mississippi and Tennessee, and Tennessee never had a team until the Titans
Right.
moved there.
Right.
Mississippi don't have a pro team, so I can see them being Cowboys fans. Those were the games that was getting televised back in the day.
Right.
Arkansas, I do my training in Arkansas for my job. Not a pro team. And Jerry Jones is from Arkansas.
Right.
All they have is the Razorbacks, and then they root for the Cowboys. So certain regions, I could see them being, Cowboy fans. It's the people that's from Michigan or Chicago, or Georgia. And how are you a Cowboys? I don't even. You can't name one street in Dallas, and you sitting up here rooting for the Cowboys.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't
Joke.
know any. I've got tons of Green Bay fans. I know a lot of people like the Steelers. Some Seahawk fans, some Raiders fans, but I can't really think of any Cowboy fans that I know of. Even though they're supposed to be America's team, and I mean it's by the numbers. I mean they are one of the more popular teams in the NFL. So,
And they was screaming
so
that too. Like that was one of the slogans. They just kept screaming, "America's team! Ain't nobody better than America's team." I'm like, oh my god, these is. All
that's
right,
funny.
so we both going Eagles.
Yes.
Um, Last but not least, Lions Texans. That's a Sunday night game down in Houston, Texas.
I got Detroit all day.
I'm going Detroit too. So, Ravens, Bears, Chiefs, Giants, Steelers, Bucks, Eagles, Lions.
Did you say Chiefs?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't remember picking that one. So
Oh,
we
hold
picked
on.
Kansas City and
I
Denver.
think I already had it written down. I'm sorry.
Okay, so you
Chiefs and
picked the Chiefs.
Broncos. Yes.
Okay.
I know you going Chiefs. That's a no-brainer.
It's not a no-brainer, but yeah, I am.
Hey, that Bo Nix, man, he looked like he gonna be the real deal.
He does, and the Denver's defense is actually somewhat solid. Just Kansas City is kind of weird to me. I mean, they're undefeated, but they could have lost every single game they've had this year.
Yeah, that's scary.
Mm-hmm.
That's scary. I still don't think they're gonna pull it off, though. I don't think they. And I'm not a Chiefs hater or nothing like that. I mean, I don't mind the Chiefs. I just don't think they're gonna pull it off this year.
I mean, I just don't feel like they have the same team that they've had the last couple of years. Like I said, they're not that dominant team. They look to me they're the worst 8-0 team of all time. I mean, they don't look dominant. They're good. Patrick Mahomes finds ways to win. Andy Reid finds ways to win,
And that's what you want with a coach and a quarterback. I'm so jealous. I wish we could have got Andy Reid. I wish we could have got Sean Payton. I wish we could have got Jim Harbaugh. The Bears just pass on these coaches, man. I don't understand it. And we always get first time head coaches. Every time. Outside of they did it one time and it did blow up in our face. It was John Fox. But John Fox was responsible for getting Vic Fangio there to run that defense, which turned into the number one defense. Eventually, when we got Khalil Mack and them, and so I still give him credit on that. But all of the coaches we have, I mean, Dick Duran, Dave Wanstead, even Mike Dicker, all first time head coaches, man. And the only one that worked out for us was Dicker, and he ended up screwing up the team. So,
yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
We deserve better. So I gotta. I'm not gonna hate on the Lions, man. I'm a root for y'all, man. Y'all deserve it. I don't think nobody has had worse luck in the NFL than the Lions. Probably maybe the Cleveland Browns, but
I mean,
yeah.
Cleveland Browns have at least. I mean, yeah. I think historically, the Lions are historically one of the worst franchises in sports.
Yeah. So I mean, it's kind of hard to root against that. I mean, even though it's our rival and everything like that, I'm actually happy for the Lions.
We appreciate that. We appreciate that. It feels so weird to be good right now. I mean, it's weird. Like I said, I'm not used to it, but I like it. They're fun to watch, man. They are fun to watch.
Yeah. They doing it. They doing their thing. Y'all got. I was a big David Montgomery fan. We let him walk, and I said, man, I can. He's going to go to Detroit, right? It's just.
I like him a lot. I like him a lot. He's tough. Yeah. He is tough.
Yeah. So, and Barry Sanders is. Oh, I mean, that's probably one of my favorite. It's not one. He might be my favorite player. Deion Sanders is my favorite all-time player.
Really? Your favorite player ever?
I think so. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. I knew you liked him, but I didn't realize he was in the consideration of favorite player ever.
Yeah, man. I mean, the Bears, we done had some good players like Walter Payton. as great as he was, I mean, Walter Payton got drafted, I think, what, in 75, maybe?
I think it was
75
seven.
or 77?
I think it was 77.
77? Dude, I was born in 78.
Yeah, I was born in 77.
You know, so I got to watch him at the tail end of his career. And even then I was a shorty. I I watched Barry Sanders like every Sunday.
When you say you were a shorty, what do you mean by that?
10 years old.
Oh, you mean young? Because
Yeah.
you're shorty now, aren't you?
I knew where you was going with that, man. I got kind of taller, man, since the last time you seen me.
What? You're
Yeah.
growing? You're growing in your 40s? Oh, that's weird. So what? Are you like what? 413? What are you?
Oh man. Oh man. When I look back, when I look at all of my friends, man, ain't none of them my height. Like everybody is taller than me, either taller or bigger. I'd be like, man, this is yeah, it's crazy.
It's funny. I've been as tall as I am right now since I was in like eighth or ninth grade. I've just put on weight. But when I graduated high school, I was 6'2", but I weighed about 155 pounds. I mean, I
Oh
was
wow,
real thin. Yeah, real thin. Now I'm like 240.
man, you weigh that much?
I do. I do.
Man, Jake.
I know. I'm getting fat.
Hey man, it's called happy. You happy?
I am happy. I enjoy eating. I enjoy
Yeah,
eating.
yeah. I think I got a couple of friends that's my height. Yeah, I mean, I got a few, but it ain't many. It ain't many.
You know, Amy,
Wow.
Amy, Amy says that she's grown since we've started dating too. She swears she's grown 2 inches since we started dating.
Oh man. Goodness gracious.
You know,
Hey, tell her to accept it.
right?
Just hey, it's cool being short.
Yeah, it gives me something to do. I get to get her stuff from the top shelf, things from the top of the refrigerator. It just gives me stuff to do. Makes me feel needed.
Oh man. Was it something else? It was something else you wanted to go over this week.
I did. We have a top five to go over. You remember what we picked?
The top 5 shoes.
Basketball shoes. Yep.
Well, I feel like that we're going to have this conversation again.
Why is that?
Um, because I'm gonna come up with some more shoes.
Oh, okay. Do you have your top five basketball ones right now?
I wrote them down while we were talking because I
Okay.
kind of remembered. Yeah, I've been so busy with work, and I said, man, I forgot to write them down. So right off the top of my head, with number 5, I'm gonna go with the Jordan 4.
Okay.
Um, when I was coming up, they was just the red ones. That's what we called them. You know, they got all these names now, Breads and Concords and
Hmm.
this and that. But this was, yeah, we gotta up our game when we bring up something. We can put the picture of what we're talking about on the screen.
Oh, I will. I'll put them on.
Okay. Yep. So the Jordan 4. Next, the Jordan 3. The Black Cement Jordan 3 that's getting ready to get released here in a couple of weeks. and I'm all on it. Number 3 is the Jordan 12, one of my favorites, man. I love it. Just the regular black and white ones, they call them the taxis. Regular Jordan 12, the first one to release. Number 2, the Jordan 1, the very first Jordan made. And I'll take that in any color. But probably my favorite color are the Breds, which are the just straight black and red. No. The all white, black and red, like the very first one. That's my favorite. And then the number 1, the Jordan 11 Concord.
Okay. So you went with all Jordans, huh? You told me you were going to do that, though.
Yep, I did.
All right. Well, and that's fair.
That's
fair.
So
That's fair. I get it. All right.
yeah, I just don't see if a Jordan is being released today versus any other shoe. I don't see me taking another shoe over that Jordan. And there's some classic stuff out there, but I can't. I don't know if I can take nothing over a Jordan.
How many
unless it's a special.
How many pair of Jordans do you have?
I don't know.
A lot. I've seen. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, and I still got to get more of these cases, but I'm not even gonna start counting. I mean, it's
so before we get into mine, did you see that movie called Air? It's the movie. It's with Ben Affleck, and it's about when Nike signed Jordan.
Yeah, I have not watched that movie.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. He was so close to signing with Adidas.
Yeah.
So it goes into that whole story. It's amazing. It really blows you away. But
I've heard the story several times, from Michael Jordan and others. I just haven't. I know the story, but of course the movie will probably tell it better. But he wanted to go with Adidas. That I do know, and Nike just kind of made an offer that he couldn't refuse, and if I'm not mistaken, he gave Adidas time to match what Nike was trying to do, and they wouldn't do it.
Yeah, because what they did was they gave him a percentage, which was unheard of. So it was like he got a percentage, he got a stake in the sales, and that wasn't heard of. And like it started a whole new thing. Like I said, and quite frankly, I don't think anybody else was like ready to give a signature shoe. Like this is the Jordan. It's just like
right.
Adidas wanted to sign them. Here, you wear our stuff. But it was funny. I want to say that part of the deal was something like they had just hoped that they would make so much in the first couple of years, and they made like 10 times that in 6 months or something like that. It's a good movie. You should check it out.
That's why Nike is the GOAT. Nike just know what to do and when to do it, and I don't think the Jordan shoe wouldn't be what it is today if he would have went with Adidas.
Yeah,
I just don't see the design, and I don't. Adidas. I mean, a classic Adidas shoe with the three stripes on the side. When they tried to make signature shoes, but it just didn't live up to.
Yeah.
They just didn't have it. And I love Adidas. I mean, I'll wear Adidas suit today, with the classic shell toes, Stan Smiths, and, I love Adidas, but they ain't Nike.
Now, like I said, I noticed a bunch of the Jordans that you mentioned. Like the most recent one was the 12. Like, do you like any of the new Jordans that come out now? Like, they're in the 30s now. Do you like any of those?
A few of them I do.
Yeah.
Um, uh, I would think of think about getting some of the new ones, but when a new one come out, it seems like a retro always come out. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I go for the retro, but some of them are cool looking. I mean, they not the Jordans of old, obviously, but some of them that do come out, I do like them.
So I haven't bought a pair of Jordans in a long time to actually wear and play basketball. Like I said, right now, like my most recent basketball shoes are the KDs. I like the KDs a lot, comfort wise, not necessarily how they look, but comfort wise.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the Kyries as well. So those have been my most recent basketball shoes. But my top five. So my number five is the Reebok The Answer. It was Allen Iverson's first shoe. Do you
I
remember
like
those?
that. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
those are
yes.
those are those are one of my favorite ones, comfort wise, that I can ever remember. Uh,
Okay,
the white with the blue toe, those are sharp. So I'm going to put those at number five.
okay.
Uh, Number four, I've got the Jordan 11, the
Wow,
Concords.
number four.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I'm interested to see what number one is. Keep going.
For me, the number three is uh, they're the Air Max. It was they came out in 1996. The Fab Five wore them. They were a black Air
Oh
Max.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
those are
A
my number
great
three.
shoe. That
Yeah,
was the great shoe. Yeah.
yeah. That's going to be number three. Um, my number two is going to be the Jordan 3. That was the very first pair of Jordans that I ever had.
Okay.
So I had the black ones with the gray. Well, I don't know whatever you call that design is, but
Yeah.
those are the first Jordans I ever had, and I remember thinking I was in third grade. I
You
just
talking
remember
about the
thinking,
elephant print on the back?
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's what it is. I just remember thinking how cool those were. I couldn't believe my dad ever bought them. They were the most expensive shoe I'd ever had at that time, and,
Okay.
and they were sharp. I like those a lot. So, and then my number one is the Jordan 4. And
Oh,
I love the Jordan 4. Even to this day, I love the Jordan 4, how they look. Here's the wild thing about that. I've never owned a pair of Jordan 4s.
ah, man. Jake, if that's your favorite shoe, you got to do yourself you,
Yeah,
you got to get a pair, man.
I know. I do. I do. I got to get a pair. I've never had them. And I remember when I was a kid, when they came out, my dad wouldn't buy them for me. They were just too expensive. Oh, and I just remember being jealous. A bunch of my buddies had them. I just remember thinking how sharp they were. Um, they were the coolest things I had ever seen at the time. I just thought they were
Yeah.
wild. And I never had a pair. And it's funny because now those are one of the ones that the remakes come out all the time, different colors and different
Yeah.
prints like that. And I've seen some sharp ones, and they're so expensive though when they come out. Like I said,
I remember having those. They came
yeah,
out when I was in fifth grade,
yeah, yep.
and they sat in the closet for a while because I remember I was going down to Orlando. This is when we was still living in Chicago, obviously fifth grade, and I was going down to Orlando for spring break, and my mom would not let me wear them until she was like, "You gonna keep those fresh until you go on
Yeah.
vacation." And man, I when I find those pictures of me wearing them Jordans back then, man, I had a red and white uh Tide was it Tide one or something like that outfit to go with it. Oh man, yeah, you couldn't tell me nothing, man. I was excited to have them shoes.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish
You
I would
know,
have had those. I wish I would have had those.
yeah, I used to, back then when you got a pair of shoes, parents wasn't buying shoes like we buy shoes now.
No, there was no
So
such thing as a sneakerhead back then.
no, so I used to just kind of stare at them the night before we flew to Orlando. I I had them sitting right there by my bed, like they was sitting right there. Well, as soon as I woke up, I was like, man, I can't. It was like Christmas, man, all night. I was just hurried up and went in the bathroom, brushed my teeth, washed my face, get all dressed up, chow, and slipped them things on, man, as soon as I could.
Yeah.
I was ready before everybody else just to put my shoes on.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was. But I remember getting the Jordan 1, the very first Jordan release, and I, man, that was the hot shoe to have, living in Chicago at that time. But
See, I don't really remember those coming out. Like I said, that was kind of one of the things about the threes was the when the threes came out. That must have been right because I said I think I was in third grade, and I think that was right around the time I was getting into basketball. And I just remember they come out and they were so much different than anything I'd ever seen.
mm-hmm.
So I remember later on saying, "Oh, the Jordan ones. Oh, that's cool. Those are cool. The very first Jordans." But I mean, like you said, it's not like it is today where things get re-released and things like that. I mean, by the time I knew what the Jordan ones were, they were long gone, and anybody that had a pair of Jordan ones, they were all worn out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But the Jordan twos though are trash. You have a pair? I don't. I never liked the Jordan twos. Yep. Yep. There they are. I don't like those. They had that. They had that old logo on them.
Oh man, these is classic, man.
Yeah. You know, a girl I work with, Tanisha. She's a big Jordan fan, and I want to say she has a pair of those, but like they're the Carolina blue ones, and those look all
No,
right.
well, this is my favorite Jordan 2. This color scheme right here.
Yeah.
Um, and they look pretty sweet on the feet.
Yeah. Yeah. I've never been a fan of them, but
Yeah. Yeah, they
it's
look
funny.
pretty good on the feet, man. So I I like them.
So you're I'm blaspheming them. I saw your face when I said that they were trash.
Nah, man. No. These is classics right here, baby. Yeah. I got some Carolina Blue, the Carolina Blue fives. That's a favorite one of mine too. I really like that one.
Yeah, I see them. I
Oh,
like
you
the
see
fives
that?
too. Yeah, I
Yeah.
see those. Those are sharp.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, yeah,
you got
yeah.
quite a collection. You got quite a
Yeah.
collection.
I got a long way to go. But there is a shoe that's coming out this weekend that I gotta get, and it's not a Jordan. Anybody that know Jeffrey Morris, aka J Mo, know how much of a huge Wu Tang fan that I am. I love the Wu Tang Clan, and they signature shoe is being dropped this weekend. It's a Wu Dunk, and I gotta have it. I
Really?
gotta have that.
When you say a Woo Dunk, that those you're talking about the Nike Dunks?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'll have to
It's
check it
got
out.
the W on the back. It's got Wu Tang on the tongue.
Are
Oh
you gonna get them?
man, what man? I already got the shirt to go with them, and I already know how I'm gonna rock them shoes.
All right, you'll have to show them to me next week.
Oh yeah, 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 for sure. They kind of look like the Jordan 1 all the way up the top.
Yeah,
That's what the
same
same
color
color
pattern.
scheme and everything, but
That makes
it's a
sense.
dunk. Yeah.
That makes sense. Wu Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with.
Yeah, boy. You know what's happening.
I do. Big Wu Tang fan. I didn't know they had shoes though. That's cool.
Man, yeah, yeah. They actually got it was a special edition box, like a hexagon. And when you open it up, it's got the honeycomb in there, for the Wu-Tang Killer Bees. And I'm just like, man, I tried to get that. And those boxes alone, and it's got a jar of honey in there.
Wow.
10 grand.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's why they ain't nothing to,
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I'm not getting that. I love them, but man, come on. And you won't be able to sell. You can buy it for that much, but you won't be able to turn around and sell it for that much. I guarantee you.
Right.
But yeah. All right, man. Michigan, Indiana. Who you taking?
Well, I mean, I think Indiana's going to win, obviously, but I'm rooting for blue.
I am too. We'll see what happens. I got to work this weekend, so I won't be able to sit down and watch every play, but I'll be able to watch the majority of the game.
Cool.
Is that a 12 o'clock game?
I believe so. Let me check just to make sure. Don't want to be giving people false information. It is it's a 3:30.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, that's it. I will get ready to go and watch this game.
All right. Walk us on out then.
All right. As always, thanks for tuning in. We hope you're enjoying. Be sure to check us out on all platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify. We are there. YouTube. Give us a like, comment, subscribe. Tune in, baby. We love y'all. We having a lot of fun.
Share with your friends. And as Jeff would say, Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with.
You heard him.
All right, guys.
All right.